Good evening, rockers. Vegas Rock Goddess here on the rocks. Total entertainment. Welcome to the 100th show of On the Rocks. This is going to be a special 1 hour edition. This show is going to be dedicated to all the fans of rock and roll. And I know some of the biggest fans of rock. So I invited them to come on and talk about their experiences. This is going to be a great show. So sit back, get your favorite beverage, and let's let these guys in. It'll be just a second. Here we go. We got Diana coming in. Are you there, Diana? Turn your mic on.
I'm here. Can you
Okay.
hear me?
No, I can hear you, but I can't see you. There you are. Hi.
Hey.
I feel like I haven't seen you in like 6 months. It's been
Probably.
no, it's been so crazy with you on the road, with me on the road going to Australia. And so we're going to have fun tonight. We're just going to wait a minute or two here for Lisa because I want both of you guys to get in on this segment because I cannot wait to pick your brain about Eric. And you'll have to tell me how everything went. We're going to talk about his book too a little bit.
Yep.
So I'm excited.
I brought some visual effects.
Oh, nice, nice.
This is the Swedish one though,
So why don't you, while we're waiting for Lisa, why don't you tell the fans out there how long you've been following rock?
Oh, well, I guess we could start with my first concert, 1986. Yngwie Malmsteen, my sister, brought me to that show, and then I guess I got hooked after that.
Yeah. What
And
other
then,
kind of what other kind of bands were you following at that time?
oh, just basically all the 80s hair bands. Bon Jovi, Cinderella, Skid Row, of course.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. So,
Nice, nice. And so what's on the agenda for, like, we're into the end of the year now, so a lot of these bands just don't tour. So
yeah.
what's on your plate coming up?
Oh, I was looking at my calendar and it's looking pretty grim.
Oh,
I think the next big thing I see on my calendar is in January for NAMM convention. So,
oh, you're going to NAMM, so am I.
yeah, cool.
This will be
I
my
believe
first.
Lisa is too.
Oh, good. That's
Yeah.
that's awesome because I'll be working with David Ellefson
Okay.
and his coffee brand while I'm there and getting interviews and stuff for my platform too as well. So that's great. I'm glad you guys are going.
Yeah.
That's awesome. We'll have to talk about that. Where's Lisa? I'm gonna
I don't
text
know.
her
Okay.
and see what's going on. Do, do, do. Yeah, it's been a crazy year, I think, for both of us traveling,
Yeah.
for sure. And 25 is going to be just as crazy, I think, for both of us.
Hopefully. I don't see a whole lot yet. We have to find out what's going on with Skid Row. They need a singer.
I know. Lizzie Hale, we're going to talk about that too.
Yeah.
Well, let's get into it. We'll just chime Lisa in a minute. I'm going to, let's see, give her a second. All right, so let's get to it. Now, how long have you been following Skid Row?
Since 89 when I saw them open for Bon Jovi.
Oh my gosh.
So that was at the Forum in
Right.
LA.
That is probably around the same time that I saw them as well. I was living in Chicago at the time. So yeah, and I think they played Alpine Valley Music Theater.
Yeah.
And they opened up for Bon Jovi. And then I know I saw a show too shortly after that, and they opened up for Van Halen as well. So,
Oh, I didn't see that one.
yeah, so that's a great place for us to start. So, what do you think of the band between, let's talk about then and now?
Little bit of a difference. You've got your three core members still. You've still got, Scotty and Rachel and Dave Snake Sabo in the band, and they were the original starters of it. And there's so many people out there that say, no Sebastian, no Skid Row, but it's still the same songs. And like when they split up in '96, I'm fast forwarding quite a bit, but I just kept following both sides.
Okay,
It's like when your parents divorce, you don't just see one of them. So
right,
I kept following both. Every time Sebastian put out an album, I was buying those albums. Whenever he would tour, I was at those. Same with Skid Row. I bought all of theirs. Today is the anniversary of Revolutions Per Minute. I just got some emails on that. And Thick Skin and all of Skid Row's albums that had Johnny Solinger in those.
right.
Uh,
But I'm a big Sebastian Bach fan. Now, I got to tell you, I've been following his career, from the beginning as you, and then he had his solo career. Let me tell you, Angel Down
mhm.
is one of the best rock records, produced rock records, probably I ever heard. And that's one album that's in my top 10 of all time. I mean, the album was incredible when it came out at that time. I mean, I still listen to it. Um, he's got a great voice. I have so much respect for him. He went to Broadway, you know, and he's just an all around great entertainer. Even on his own, he's amazing. What do you think about like him being on his own versus being with Skid Row?
He needs to stay on his own. I'm not one of those that wants to see the reunion come back. A lot of people, they try to represent all the fans and say, oh, everybody wants Sebastian back in the band. Well, no, a lot of us don't. We know that it doesn't work with them. It's like, expecting your divorced parents to get back together just because you want them to and
Right.
you'd like to see it happen, nobody else is going to be happy about it. I mean, Sebastian's doing just fine on his own. He just put out a new solo album that's, topping the
Killer.
charts and everything. He's
Yeah.
doing great, so why bother? Why mix it?
Well, I can see both sides of the coin. You know what I mean? As far as lifers with that band. Okay. I consider yourself and myself a lifer because we were there in the beginning, okay, for the
Yeah.
band. But there's some people that compare this situation to Van Halen.
Yeah.
Okay. When Dave Lee Roth left, okay, they actually went through a couple lead singers. If people remember correctly, Gary Sharon
Yeah.
was the first one to step in. And I saw that first show that they started the tour off in Chicago. Believe it or not, I had the best seats in the house. I was in the balcony right above Gary Sharon. And he was standing in the wings for about probably almost 20 minutes. He was afraid to go on because he didn't know what to expect from not only the crowd but his peers,
Yeah.
um at the time. I don't mean to go off topic, but this is kind of relatable
Yeah,
to
I mean, those are big shoes to fill, just like,
right.
anybody trying to go in after Sebastian is big
Yeah.
shoes.
And then Sammy Hagar came along and the dynamic of the band completely changed. And,
Yeah.
Some people say it went from a Las Vegas show to an actual rock band, and I can see that point. But like with Skid Row, there's been so many years since then,
Yeah.
you know, and, I'm in agreement with you. I mean, yeah, the fans want it, but see, the fans don't get to hear or talk behind the scenes of what's really going on
Yeah.
because they don't want people to know the real story. okay, of how this all started. Now we know he doesn't have a good relationship with Snake. So,
Or
again,
Rachel.
yeah,
Mostly Rachel, I think.
Or Rachel.
Yeah.
So again, I mean, it's just, yeah, here we go again. They want Sebastian back, blah, blah, blah. You know what? Let him go, people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's time to move on. We're going into 2025.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, I don't know. What's your feeling on this, Diana?
Um, yeah, I mean, I've seen them with all of the other singers, Johnny many times, ZP. The only one I did not see, obviously Matt Fallon, the one before Sebastian Bach, because they were East Coast and they weren't signed yet. But Tony Harnell, he was there, maybe 6 months. So I did not see him play with them. And I think the main issue with that one was that he wanted to be more involved with the songwriting, and Rachel and Snake do all the songwriting. So I think they just agreed that they didn't really work together well, and so that was very short-lived. I don't think they really got any. There's no albums or anything with that
Right.
phase. So,
Exactly.
and
I
then
totally
ZP was
agree
in
with
for a
it.
few years.
Exactly. I totally agree because there's so many, like I said, people are kind of seeing it from one side,
Yeah.
and with us, we're kind of in the scene a little bit, so we kind of, hear things that happen and when things go on and all that. So I had to resend the link to Lisa. Just okay, so we'll let her get her thing going here. But yeah, I mean, even though I mean, when I first found out that Eric was the lead singer, okay, I was with my old executive producer. We know how he is. Okay, well, I'm gonna let Lisa in. She can get in on the conversation. Okay, Lisa, we're here. Let's see. Okay, she's trying. We'll wait. There she is.
I'm here, I think
Lisa,
so. Sorry, your loser friend is here.
stop it. You're fine. Diana and I were just talking about Skid Row and
Awesome.
all the things that have happened to this band over the past couple years. So we're going to have you chime in just a minute. But yeah, as far as when I first heard Eric, okay, for the first time, it was actually on the radio, and I actually just pulled into my work, and I'm like, wait a second, who is that? And they said, oh, that's a new singer of Skid Row. I'm like, really? Wow. But anyway, my ex-executive producer was with me at the time, and he dragged me to see him live at Sunset Station when they had
Oh,
the
that was your
outdoor.
first time.
That was my first time seeing
So you
him.
didn't go to the residency.
No, I couldn't. At the time I was working, there was no way I could have snuck it in, but we got this in, and we actually met Eric. We were actually standing in VIP waiting to get in, and he went to get coffee with, hey, Eric, come, come
Yeah,
get
I was right there too.
Yeah. So we got a picture and everything, and he was such a cool, down to earth guy. I mean, so humble, so excited to be there. So anyway, but let's talk about, you went to see him in Switzerland?
Sweden.
Sweden. Okay. I know there's two different countries. Okay, so Sweden. So tell me how that went.
So that was the 100K subscriber party for his YouTube channel, and also his book release party.
Okay.
So it's been in the making for probably over 6 months. We'd all been joking about having the party, and then it ended up actually happening. And people from all over the world ended up showing up. There was a couple of us from the US, there was people from Japan,
Yeah.
Austria, England, all over Europe. There was probably about 25. We call ourselves the Gronwell Power Crew. Ended up going to the party. It was a private party at Mammut Bar in Stockholm, Sweden, which is a very cool bar. If you ever have a chance to get to Sweden, you've got to go to Mammut.
Okay. Yeah, because I saw your videos and pictures, and
Yeah.
so I haven't read the book yet, but how did Eric, I mean, how was it for him? Was it exciting or?
Yeah, here's the book here. This is the Swedish version that I bought. And I was trying to Google Translate because it's all in Swedish. But he is having an English version getting translated right now. So that's going to be available in November. So one
Oh, good.
more month.
Okay,
So
so
yeah,
I'll
so
have to pick it
nobody's
up.
really read it yet,
Yeah,
unless you're in Sweden.
right.
So
So, and also now let's move a little forward. We're gonna get Lisa in here too, but let's move forward to Lzzy Hale. Now, let me tell you, Lzzy Hale is one of the most powerful lead vocal women. I can't really see that, but okay.
this is the tour poster with Lzzy Hale. I was at
Oh,
2 of those
cool.
shows.
Awesome. She is one of the most powerful vocalists as far as female out there. And when I heard she was filling in for some of these shows, I was like, wow, because she's got a lot going on. She's got her own band. And yeah, so how was it?
It was good. I wasn't quite sure what to expect. I had the tickets already because it was from the December shows of the prior year that had been postponed because
Okay.
there was a lot of different canceled shows with Eric getting sick. So that was one of the reasons why he had to leave, because the touring schedule was just so hectic and they couldn't meet. The two managements could not meet together and agree on the touring schedule for how much time he needed to break in between. So, anyways, I had tickets for the Reno and Sacramento show already, and then it ended up getting rescheduled with
Okay.
Lzzy Hale. So I went and I had VIP and everything. So it was a lot of fun. And, she didn't disappoint. She did all the songs justice. I just, obviously don't see her as the lead singer of Skid Row. She's got her
Okay.
own thing, needs to
Right.
focus on, Hailstorm right now.
Yeah.
So we'll see who Skid Row ends up. I know they're looking for a singer right now, so
So that nothing has been determined as
not
far,
yet.
okay. All right. Well, we're going to leave the conversation at that. We'll talk more about that at a later time. But Lisa, let's talk about Night Ranger, man. I've heard all the stories. Okay. So why don't you tell everybody when you first started liking Night Ranger and how you got to meet them? I can't, Lisa, turn your mic on. Your mic's not on.
Oh,
Okay, there
oops.
we
Well, I've always liked the music, but I had never seen them live until I moved to town here in Vegas. And Dory and Gary gifted me with a ticket for my birthday several years ago. And well, since I like to do this, I seat hop to the front.
like we haven't done that before.
No, I'm innocent. I never do anything like that.
Hey, no, don't say that, because I think I saw you. Was it at Slaughter or was it at Steelheart? And you were like,
Both.
Carol, move over. I'm like, what?
Who I say? I told somebody to move over?
You told me to move over.
Oh.
You're like, move over, Carol.
I don't remember that.
Oh my God, that was funny. Anyway, go ahead. I had to put that in there. It was funny.
That is funny. And I want your jacket, by the way.
Oh, thanks. A little Nordstrom original.
Very cool. And I was just, my big thing is live shows. I mean, they could probably make me sound good on a mic in a studio, but even that's doubtful. But they're so good live. And besides that, they just, like, they look like they're having the best time of their lives. I mean, these guys, most of them aren't young, and they have more energy than I ever did. And they just look, I don't know. So they're really good to listen to. They're nice to look at, and they just look like.
Hey,
Well, you know all about that. I mean, but but they're fun to watch. So there's like no downside. I
so
mean, they're just
when did you
amazing.
meet them?
Um, well, a couple times VIP, couple times the valet parking has been very kind to me. I'm serious. I ran into the to Kelly, like I was parking my car and I was like kind of frustrated because they were slow. I turned around and apparently he had the same frustration because he was right there and I'm like, oh, hi. But just either VIP or luck.
One of the two.
Yeah.
So how many shows have you seen?
I don't know. About 8 since I moved to town.
Oh,
Not all
wow.
of them in town.
Night Ranger only.
Night Ranger only. I mean,
Oh,
I've seen a lot of other shows, but but for Night Ranger about 8, and I like traveled for a couple, 2 or 3
okay,
of them.
right. Diana, how many shows have you seen with Skid Row?
Uh, probably about 25 before Eric, and then I had 3 of the residency show tickets, and after I was there the first night, and after that first show, I just started getting more tickets and just kind of got addicted and wound up seeing them 19 times with Eric.
Wow.
And that includes going to Spain and Pennsylvania, M3 Festival, traveling down to San Diego, LA,
Wow.
Phoenix, or Tucson,
That's crazy.
Reno, Sacramento. Yeah, a lot of shows.
That's funny because I'm friends with the Kings of Thrash. Okay, we all know this. And I've been to Australia twice. I've seen the band probably 5-6 times since they began this craziness. And yeah, I mean, let's talk about a local band. Now, you guys love these guys, Velvet Chains.
They're awesome.
Let's talk about Velvet Chains because I've seen Velvet Chains, and I was actually the first rock journalist to interview Velvet Chains before, just right after they won their residency contest at the Cosmopolitan. So I interviewed them at Rockstar Bar. And I have seen probably 7 shows from Velvet Chains. What do you guys think about Velvet Chains? Let's get the fan response.
I love Velvet Chains.
Last week, I think.
Last week or the week before, yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
I've
I
probably
love
seen him 3-4 times.
Ro Viper. Oh my gosh. That guy has gotten so powerful in his voice. I mean, amazing. These guys are traveling to Brazil. I mean, they're going places.
Yeah, they opened for Slash in Brazil.
Yeah. So kudos to them. Congratulations to them because we love them. I was gonna get Tina to come on, but she got home late from work, so she wouldn't been able to make the timeline. But she loves Velvet Chains too, man.
Yeah, for sure.
When we're there at the club, she's like, Carol, we got to keep an eye out for Ro Viper.
Oh, I wonder why. I have no idea why she wants to keep an eye out for.
she's like, just keep an eye out. Keep an eye out. As she's drinking shots of Fireball. Have you seen him yet? Have you seen him yet? No, I haven't. I'm right here by the door. Don't worry, we'll get a shot. We'll get a picture. So funny. But yeah, they're great guys though to hang out. Nils.
They're super nice, super cool.
Amazing. And then they added, our favorite Mr. Von Bold as the guitar player. So yeah, you can't go wrong. It's like the dynamic duos up there. But yeah, so okay, so what are you going to see next, Lisa?
I have 2 Night Ranger shows in November.
Here?
One is in Cali, and then the other one's in Prim.
Oh, okay. I heard about that Prim one.
Yeah, well, I had gotten the Cali one first, and I have a friend coming from out of town. It's not like I mind seeing them twice, so.
Oh, yeah, break your arm, right?
And guess where I'm standing, you know?
Right in front, right? Or you're gonna
Stage left or right, I don't
oh, but you'll get in the middle anyway.
know.
What about you, Diana? Have you ever had a like seat hop or like move your way
Oh,
to the
yeah.
front? I don't know what happened to her. She's like, oh,
Every
Didn't you
single
seat
time at
hop with
Irvine
me for
Meadows.
Poison?
huh? What were you saying, Lisa?
I think Diana seat hopped with me for Poison. Or Brett Michaels, I mean.
Oh yeah, I wasn't at that. Did you seat hop
don't
with
know.
her, Diana, for Brett Michaels?
I don't
Was
think
it that
so.
one?
I thought I
Or were
heard-
you or were you doing fireball shots with Tina up at the
No.
bar?
No.
She knows I
It was
love
one
her.
show. I can't think
She
now,
knows
but
I
you
love
know.
her.
No, back in my teenage days, we used to we'd go all the way from the general admission lawn in the back at Irvine Meadows, and we had this way down all the way, and we would usually get within
Right.
the first 5 rows.
Yeah.
But that was back when everybody paid the same amount of money for a concert ticket.
Oh, of
Now,
course.
now people are much more, they're
Territorial.
going to be pissed if you're showing up because they spent, $800 for a front row seat.
And I go, oh well.
So I like the general admission shows a lot better, where
Because
you can
All
You're
right, guys.
equal.
be up there.
Thank you so much for coming on. It's been very enlightening. You guys are the best fans in the world for these bands. And I love you guys to death. I'm sorry I haven't been out, but that's gonna change.
We know you don't like us anymore.
Oh, stop it. But thanks for rocking with me. You know I love you guys. And I will see you guys out there.
Sounds
Okay.
good.
All
See
right.
you
Thanks for
soon.
coming on.
Right. Bye.
Bye. All right. Are you ready to rock, folks? Now it's time to talk about Kiss. And I've got one of my really good friends, Matt Phillips. What's up, Matt? He's there. We're going to give him a second. What's up, Matt?
What's up? How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm very good, very good. Happy to be here.
Great. Thank you so much for coming on because this show is all about the fans. And I'm a big fan of your band,
Oh,
as
thank
you
you
well
very
know.
much.
George 24 is killing it out there, man. You guys are doing great.
We are doing very well, and it's from support from you guys. So thank you so much for all you do.
Well, thank you. And I love it that you chimed in because this segment means a lot to me. Kiss.
Yeah,
So let's get to it, my friend.
let's do it.
Let's talk about when you first go back to when you were a kid.
Yeah.
And you first heard a Kiss.
Yeah.
When was that?
I remember it very, very clearly. As a matter of fact, I was in a drugstore and I was 12 or 13, and I went up to a magazine rack and I was just getting into music real heavy and everything. And I saw Metal Edge magazine, and on the cover were these dudes in makeup. And I was like, I asked my dad, I said, who are these guys? And he was like, oh, that's Kiss. And I said, I think I love Kiss. And ever since then, it's been huge,
Yeah, and I see you got all your stuff behind you.
Yeah. Can you see it clearly? It looks
It's kind
blurred
of,
out.
It's kind of blurry.
Yeah, I think that may be the I've got the reverse facing camera on. I think
Oh,
it may be that.
okay, but that's all right. We're gonna talk about this. So
Sure.
you were totally hooked on Kiss.
Yes.
So when was your first real connection with the band as far as like, did you get a ticket to go see them? Like, how did that happen?
Well, for many years, it was strictly magazines and the albums and things like that. The very first album I ever got, I didn't really understand that they had taken the makeup off at some point. And the very first album I got was the album Revenge, and I've absolutely loved that. So I got to deep dive in reverse, I guess you would say,
Right.
and discover all of the makeup era and all non-makeup era and things like that. Now, once the internet really started popping off, I was able to learn all I could about them and see concert footage and stuff like that. They didn't come to Mississippi for a while there, but they did. They ended up coming to the Jackson Coliseum, and I want to say I was 16 or 17 at that point, and they came and they had Ted Nugent and Skid Row with them,
Okay.
and that was my first time. I was front row, right in front
Wow.
of Gene. Yeah, and that was my first time seeing them, and only a couple of concerts to this day have ever rivaled that experience for me. I again didn't. I missed them for several years. I called them twice on the end of the road tour, New Orleans and Biloxi, Mississippi, and it's just mainly I'm a collector. I just from a young age I started anything with their makeup, their logo, anything. I cut it out of a magazine and I hung it on my walls, just like I have in here now.
Right.
And now the worst mistake anybody ever made with me is giving me grown up money. Because now I can buy
Right?
the rare records. I can buy the Gene Simmons basses. I can, I've kind of ground to a halt ever since storage has picked back up, because that's where the bulk of my finances go now. That and bills.
Of course.
But yeah, I have this room, and this is the room that we practice in as well. So everybody's forced to look at Kiss every practice.
So how do you feel that Kiss has made an impact on you musically? Being a musician.
Oh wow. I want the crowd reaction. I want the energy that they elicit from their fans and their shows. It is, it's one of the worst drugs I've ever had in my life, because I'm always trying to chase that, and it's because of Kiss. The business model that they had: put your name on anything and sell it. I'm working towards that. If we can put Storage 24 on a piece of merchandise one day, I'm gonna do it. So they kind of shaped my whole approach to music. Just straightforward music. Nothing wrong with the way hard rock and metal has gone these days. But you don't need all of this crazy production in your music. Just keep it simple. Keep it simple, and that's what they did. That they wrote music that makes you tap your foot, and they put on a show, and that has shaped really my entire adult life. So
Yeah, I mean, Kiss has been the band. Now, my first I actually, I should have dug it out, but I actually have the original Love Gun record.
Oh, yes.
And mine is an actual real, it's like one of the first pressings because it has the original Love Gun in it.
Oh, yes. Yeah. I have one on my wall right now.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's funny, I got that record at a record convention. I think I was 18 years old, and I had this pin on. It was Felix the Cat, and he was playing a Flying V guitar.
Yeah.
And this guy stopped me. He's like, "Wait a second." He's like, "I like that pin." I go, "Hey, thanks, man." You know, because at the time I liked to collect rock pins at the time.
Yeah.
He had a bunch of vinyl on his table, and he had a Kiss record, Love Gun. And he's like, and I said to him, I said, "Hey, how'd you like to make a trade?" And he's like, "For that pin, for what?" He goes, I go, "Love Gun." And let me tell you something. He looked at me like I was out of my effing mind,
Yeah.
but he goes, "I'll do it. Give me the pin and $25." I said, "You got it." So that's how that started my collection when I was 18. You know, 'cause
Sure.
I knew about Kiss, you know, when I was younger than that.
Yeah.
When I got the record, that's how I started collecting. Now, that's not the only thing that I collect from Kiss. I actually have Kiss cars, Matchbox cars.
Yep.
I have a complete set of those. I have Kiss Beanie Babies.
Oh, lucky you.
Yeah,
That's one of the few things I don't have, or the
right.
Beanie
I
Babies.
mean, those are super collectible.
Yes.
Super collectible. Um, and then I also have the Tommy McFarlane dolls that they had
Yes.
from different albums that they recorded. I think the ones that I have are from the Circus record,
Yes. Yep.
and they had different characters for each of the guys in the band. So I've got a full set of those too.
Yeah.
Do you
I
have any
have.
of those?
Oh, yes. Yes, definitely. And as a matter of fact, I'm gonna try and turn the camera around. I'm not too savvy on the. Oh, I see the button. So this is one wall next to where Karsten plays. Oh, it's still blurry, but there's all the McFarlane
Wow.
action figures. I wish it wasn't blurry so you could see, but there's my Love Gun right there
Oh
in a
man.
frame. So I guess that's going to be the story. I guess it's just going to focus
That's
on my
okay though.
face.
But
But
yeah, so over the years, that's kind of like the way I started collecting Kiss stuff.
sure.
And then my first Kiss show, I saw the reunion tour
Yes.
with
Yep.
Peter Criss.
Yep.
And I remember I paid $1,000 for main floor seats at the show.
Uh-huh.
And it was like halfway through, so I had really good seats.
Yeah.
But I also remember falling down the stairs because I had Gene Simmons platform boots on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I really screwed up my knee. Some guy stopped to help me up. He's like, "Are you okay?" I go, "I think I'm gonna live, but I'm in pain right now."
Well, you got to
But
finish the show, though.
well, this was after the show.
Oh,
This was after the show when I was trying to get the hell out of there. So anyway, but so that's why I'll never forget that show, because I fell down the damn stairs and twisted my ankle.
Yeah,
That
no,
was fun.
I get that, and that's kind of the same time period. It was not Psycho Circus, but it was the the first farewell tour, they came through, and I got to see Kiss, the original lineup with Peter and
Right.
Ace and all that. So I that thinking back on that was what made that most special, is seeing the original four. And of course, now you
For
grow
the
up
last
and
time.
yeah, the last time, and then you grow up and you start to understand, for me at least, I mean, fans have known this for years, but I was starting to get, the discord between the four of them and understand what a big deal it was to see them in that way. I got the first stop on for them that I saw on the End of the Road tour was a month after they kicked it off. It was in New Orleans, and that was in February. Well, that Christmas, my wife surprised me. She bought a meet and greet package for me. So I actually got to go and meet Gene and Paul and Tommy and
Wow.
Eric. And that was huge. Now, it was just a photo op, and basically they shook my hand, said pose, I posed, and then took the picture, and then off we went. But it was something very special to see them up close and personal, and that was really great. And she really knocked it out of the park with that. That's the first time I ever cried at Christmas, I think.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
That's crazy.
I was a happy boy.
Wow. That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
That definitely tops twisting my ankle at the reunion tour.
No,
Go figure.
that was my story, and that's your story. You got your own thing.
But it's funny because my friends that were on before you came on,
Uh-huh.
the one young lady, Diana, she is a big Skid Row fan. She's like them from the beginning.
Sure.
And she has seen, man, she said over like 20, 30 shows,
Wow.
literally, of
Wow.
Skid Row. And
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's crazy. I mean, let me get your perspective here.
Sure.
How do you feel how important is it to you about the fans?
Oh,
Like, of your
oh,
band? Like, how important are they?
they are. There's no question. There's no question. We aren't who we are without them. So we can't do any of this without our fans. They are our boss. We do what they tell us to do 95% of the time. The rest of the time, we're
Right.
going to kick it the way we can kick it. But yeah, I mean, there's no question whatsoever. I did a magazine interview that's going to come out next month, and they asked, one of the questions was, what's the most meaningful lyric you've ever written? Well, I'm sure Fred could name 100. I could name 100, but there's a girl here in Mississippi that got the lyrics to one of our songs tattooed on her arm. That there's no question. That's it. That's the most meaningful. If she felt that lyric enough to tattoo that onto her body, that's what we're here for, to elicit that response. And she's one of our best fans, and it's because of people like her. They allow us to do what we do. Without anybody, we're just here playing music to nothing. And maybe it gets listened to, maybe it doesn't, but we're the role of the fan for our band is 100% the boss. That's who we do it for, and they are the most important people in our lives, aside from immediate family, wives and kids. But we can't be who we want to be without them. So we do all this for them, and they give us a job.
Yeah, and that's why I wanted to dedicate this show to all the rock fans out there. And how, as a rock journalist, I try to bring as many bands to light that people have never heard, like Storage 24,
Sure.
you
Sure.
know, and it's a passion project for me because
Well,
nobody is doing it.
right.
And it's important that this continues to happen. This is the 100th show of On the Rocks, and I've done over 100 interviews. And well, this will be the 100th, but
Sure.
moving forward, we're going into the second full season of On the Rocks. And this show is only going to elevate more, because we're going to check back in with bands like Storage 24, and we're going to get an update on what's going on.
Yes. Yeah.
Because we have to keep this movement going. We
100%.
Yeah, you can't stay
Yeah.
stagnant. You have to continue to talk about it. You've got to continue to promote it, and be on social media. And
Yeah.
TikTok is really blowing up now with bands.
Sure. Absolutely.
And let's hope TikTok stays around. Because I've read some articles and things like that, but I'm not
Yeah.
going anywhere.
Yeah.
So let me tell you, this is going to continue. Nobody is going to stop me. We're going to
Nor,
talk to
nor,
the greatest
go ahead.
bands
I'm
out
sorry.
there.
Yeah. That, everybody has an opinion about the state of rock music right now. Some people say, it's dead. Some people say it's never been hotter. Yeah, all I can say there is, again, it's people like us, people like you, who are shining light on us, saying, hey, rock is not dead. We've just forgotten it. Maybe we forgot it was there. Pop took over for a long time, which is fine. Whatever. We'll bring it back around. And that, I think that's one of the reasons why Storage 24 is making a resurgence possible here, because our style of music's very kind of, well, I mean, you've heard the singles. It's very kind of new metal, rap rock, kind of stuff. And nobody's doing that right now, really.
Right.
And if they are, we feel like we're in an underground scene that is starting to break back through. And again, it's because of people like you who see us and dig us and want to know more about us. And then when you find out that stuff, you like us, hey, you want to tell people about us. That's how we're going to bring this back around. So, we can't thank you enough for what you do. And we're just going to keep doing what we do. And we're starting to really pick up steam here. And that tells me, in a long roundabout way, to get back to this point, that tells me that rock is not dead and we're coming back.
Yeah.
So,
and a lot of the rock bands that I'm hearing that are going to be coming on the show in the second season here, it's raw,
yes.
it's original, it's live. These bands aren't hiding behind anything.
Yes.
They're out there making it happen, because that's the only way they're going to now.
Yeah.
These record companies are crumbling, okay, right in front of our eyes.
Yes.
Independent artists are finally getting their shot. And this is, like I said, this is going to continue. 25 is going to be amazing.
Oh, sure.
I mean, it's only the beginning for the new era of rock and roll.
Definitely. And we feel that too. just in our small little area, you know, we really feel that, and we had a discussion with our management today, as a matter of fact, and we've got some pretty there's I can't say who or what, but there is, pardon me, there is a band that went away that is coming back in the new year, and we are linking up with them, and we're going on runs together with them, and once they come back out, we're going for it. You know, we're not taking any prisoners. So yeah,
Right.
we're gonna make it. We're gonna get out there and show everyone. And that's Storage 24 in a nutshell, is everything we do, with the exception of a 1 minute intro into one of our shows, everything's live. It's raw. It's energy. It's moving constantly. It's riffs. It's a whole package. Um, and people see it and they're like, "What is that?" You know, and that's great. And every time we get together in this room and practice and rehearse and all that, it's getting tighter because we do have a couple of newer guys. But it's getting tighter, it's getting stronger, the sound is more powerful, this, that, and the other. So 2025 is going to be insane for us. We're like I said, again, I get off on tangents, but yeah, 2025 is going to be really strong.
Yeah, and I'm gonna definitely do a follow-up interview with you, probably closer into January of 2025. But what do
Right.
you guys have going on right now as far as live shows?
Okay, so we just booked, there's an event happening in Destin, Florida at Club LA, the big club there. And we are booked to be the featured performer. It's an event called Agents Got Talent. It's agents in the music industry and things like that. It's kind of a talent show, kind of like America's Got Talent. And then we'll come out and do our thing after all that's through, and just kind of as the entertainment. The next week we're going to Chattanooga, Tennessee to play with a band called Seven Stones, who we met actually when we went out to Los Angeles to play at the Whiskey. They were actually on the bill with us, and it was just funny to us. We hung out on their bus and really made friends with them. It was two Southern bands that had never heard of each other showed up at the same night at the Whiskey to play a gig,
Like, yeah,
and we really hit it off. So,
how serendipity is that though?
oh yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I'm
definitely,
saying?
yeah. That was pretty awesome. So we're gonna do that November the 9th, and then we're gonna take a week or so off, and then we're gonna be in Biloxi doing a show. December, we're doing a weekend run through the Mississippi coast. And then, like I said, we've got some huge stuff booked that we can't announce yet.
Oh, but you will announce it on this show.
There you go. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Exclusively. So hold that thought, because like I said, after January, I'll get in touch with you and we'll
Yep.
we'll do a follow-up show.
Sounds
And
perfect.
hopefully we can get all of you guys on at the same time.
Yes.
I'm sorry you didn't make the last one. So
Right. Yeah.
we'll make
Yeah.
sure that when we get the band together, it'll be all together.
Yes, we can
interview.
make that happen. We will definitely do that for sure.
Yeah. So 25 is going to be great. And you're ending 24 with a high note. This year has been great for you guys.
Yes.
You know, thank you for coming on
Oh,
to
thank
talk
you for
about
having me.
Kiss.
Yeah.
Because Kiss is like it. They're
Yeah.
the it band.
They're
really,
it. Yeah. Yeah.
of rock
I
and
w-
roll. And
I wish I could have shown you the stuff, but I mean, I know you've seen the video that I sent and
Right,
everything,
right.
but yeah,
yeah, talking about it, trust me, doesn't do it justice. But yeah,
yeah.
I totally get it. And kind of on the same wavelength with the collecting part too.
Sure.
It's kind of
Absolutely.
funny. But
Absolutely.
yeah, so hopefully I'm gonna see a Storage 24 show next year, maybe.
Look, we need to get out that way. I mean, we went all the way to LA. What's a stop in Vegas this time, you know?
Right.
I want to
So
I want to I want to be able to say hello Las Vegas.
that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
And I can do a live segment with you guys, which would be great.
Man. Oh, we'd love that. We would love that.
Yeah. But you know, rock and roll is important to both of us. This has been a stellar year for both of us. You know, I did 2 tours of Australia, one this year, one
Oh,
last
wow.
year, with the Kings of Thrash.
Yeah.
And it was great. They're actually doing the UK tour right now. Wishing them the best. Sorry I couldn't be there. They're going through 2 parts of England. They're going to Dublin.
Oh,
They're going to Scotland. I think
yeah.
they're ending it in I think Switzerland. They're going to Bulgaria. I mean, this band, there's no stopping them.
Right.
You know, David
Yeah.
Ellison and Jeff Young and Chaz, Leon and
Oh, yeah.
Fred Aching, my friends. They are killing it out there and there's no stopping them. So 24
Oh.
is going to be great for the Kings of Thrash. People have no idea what's coming. But
I
I
love
know,
it.
but I
I
can't
love
say
it.
nothing.
I
I
know.
can't say nothing.
I know. I feel you, sister.
Yeah, I'm the journalist with my
Yep.
lips locked. So, you know, but I'm going to be heading to NAM in at the end of January. So I'll be working with Ellison Coffee Company with David, and I'm going to be interviewing hopefully some guitar players, hopefully
Yeah.
musicians out there. So that should be fun as
Definitely.
well in 25. So, but I am headed to Nashville in April
Ah,
for Rock and
we
Podfest.
you're gonna miss us by a month there.
Ugh.
We're gonna be in Nashville with one of those things that I can't talk about. One of the dates is in
All right.
Nashville.
Well,
So
we're going to talk next year.
yeah.
I don't want you to leak it, and then your publicist is going to be calling me, Carol, what's going on? So yeah, so we'll end it there. So thank you so
Right.
much. Tell the guys hi, and we'll talk soon. And you guys keep rocking, man.
You know it. You know it.
And we'll talk
All right.
soon.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right.
Keep
Bye-bye.
rocking, my friend.
You too, sister.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Wow. Matt Phillips is a great guy. He's got a huge Kiss collection. I know it was kind of hard to see it, but he is definitely an amazing artist, and definitely his band Storage 24 is a band to watch in 24, 25. So don't miss them. But ending the show tonight, the 100th show. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate the fans and the continued support. And I'd just like to thank a few people, just a few, that make this show possible. I want to thank Dawn McIntyre. I want to thank Evan J. Thomas from Badass Radio Network. He runs our show on his podcast. Appreciate you. Also want to thank the late Victoria Seeger. Rest in peace, Victoria. Shauna O'Donnell. I want to thank Dave Tedder, Oscar Peterson. I want to thank I can't even talk tonight, Michael Brunfold. And then I want to thank Dangerous Doug Franklin. He knows who he is. And these following bands, I mean, there's so many bands, but I'm going to try to mention them. If I don't mention your band, don't get mad. Seems Like Tuesday, Storage 24, Five Headed Cobras, Will Martin, Chaz Leon, Jeff Young, Fred Aching, Holly West, Griffin Tucker, Show and Tell, Gravel, Anthony Corder, Simple Stone, Shotgun Mistress, It has been a crazy 100 shows, and this is only the beginning for this show. So I want everybody to stay tuned, keep watching. New shows will start up in November. So keep your ears and your eyes peeled, and I will let you know when those shows will resume. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your continued support, and keep rocking, folks. We got to keep the rock alive. And see you next time.